Welcome to today's Mindful Joy and Wellness Stretching. The postures we're going to do today can be done all from the comfort of your mat. So if you want to do it on the floor, on your couch, or even in your bed, you don't have to get up at all for this one. You can just lay yourself down. So let's go ahead and find ourselves laying down, finding a nice comfortable position. We're going to set our intentions for this practice, thinking about the muscles that we're going to stretch, and begin our practice with our 3 deep inhalations. Inhaling the arms up to the sky, exhaling down to our toes, inhaling through our nose, and let's try exhaling through our nose. Last one, inhale through the nose and exhale through the nose. Great. We're going to primarily focus on our hips in this practice. So to begin with, just warm up those hips. We're going to bend those knees, place the soles of our feet on the ground, and let's just tee our arms out to the side and windshield wiper those knees from side to side, waking up those hips, waking up those knees, finding some mobility, finding some strength. And the next time they're over to the front of this camera or to your right side, you're just going to let them fall as you gaze off to the left or in the opposite direction. Finding comfort in this position, just noticing how your back is feeling, noticing how your hips and your knees feel. Breathing into this calm that you're finding here on your mat. And then we're inhaling those knees up to the sky and rotating to the back or to the left side as you gaze off to your right side. Finding that calm in this position, inhaling deeply, exhaling deeply. Try and go through the nose, see how it feels. Another round, inhale through the nose. And exhale through the nose. Good. Using the core, let's inhale those knees back up to center and hug them up to our chest. Find a low back massage here, just gently rocking side to side, finding some mobility through that low back, massaging the low back, noticing how nice that feels. And then we're placing those feet back down. Let's inch those feet toward the edges of our mat, widening those knees, again teeing out the arms. We're now going to let them fall to the front of the room or to your right. And just notice, how does it feel different when your legs are wider apart and your feet have been placed wider as the edge of the mat as compared to the narrow when we had our big toes touching? Let's take a round of breath here. Inhale through the nose. And exhale through the nose. On the next inhale, let's inhale those knees back up to center. And exhale them over to your left. Good. You can gaze off to the right if you feel that feels good to your spine. If not, you can just relax in a neutral spine and inhale through the nose. And exhale through the nose. Another inhale through the nose. And exhale through the nose. Good. Let's inhale those knees back to center. This time, sending our feet straight up into the air for our legs up the wall. If you need to, you can hold on to them with your hands. A nice hack is to put a little pillowcase over the legs, and that will keep your legs from falling out to the sides, and you can just relax there. Another nice comforting position you can do right before bedtime is legs up the wall, and actually physically do it next to the wall so your legs are just supported there along the wall. We're working to flex those feet so that the heels are pressing up to the sky, finding length through the back of these legs. Good. Hopefully you're feeling a little bit more calm. This is a very calming posture. we're going to let that right leg fall down slowly, using those core muscles to the earth. Good, supporting the left leg up in the sky. We're now going to bend that knee and hug that knee into our chest. Just gently rocking side to side, finding some motion. And then rolling it over to our right side, just finding length through the outside of this hip here. You don't have to touch it all the way down to the ground, just rolling it to the side, finding some length through that hip muscle there. If it feels good to just nod your knee up and down a little bit with a little bit of motion here, you can do that, or just find stillness. Breathing through the nose. Exhaling through the nose. Good. Let's take that now back over to the left side and open it just a little bit so we can use our left hand to just open that hip up a little bit. Finding that length now through the inside of this leg. If you like to put your right arm out as a counterweight, you can do that. And we'll inhale through the nose. And exhale through the nose. Good. Now we're going to rotate and take that heel in this hand so that we have a figure of 4. If this is challenging for you, you can kick that other leg up to support it, just so we're doing our supported figure of 4 or a pigeon here. And we're going to rock that leg back and forth, just finding some mobility through that hip, warming it up. Great. If you feel like you need a little extra pull on it, you can always reach through and grab that thigh and pull the leg closer to you. If this isn't accessible to you, you could always take a strap or a small kitchen towel and use that to pull your thigh a little bit, adding some strength and mobility through this hip. And then we're placing it down on the ground. Great work. We're going to rotation now by taking the sole of this foot down to the earth here. So let's rotate that sole of the foot down to the ground, very slow and controlled, using those muscles. Great. Now we're thinking about that knee moving away from us just a little bit to add some stretch through the leg here. And let's take a breath in through the nose and out through the nose. One more, in through the nose and out through the nose. Good. Use that core, come back to center. And we're switching legs. So send that left leg long. Bring that right knee up to your chest and just find a little bit of motion or stillness, what feels good to you this morning or this afternoon or this evening, depending on when you're practicing. Just paying attention to how it feels. And we're now going to rotate that right leg over to the left, adding a little bit of a twist here. Maybe feeling some stretching happening here around the outside of your thigh. If you need to use this arm as a counterweight, you can spread that arm out. Let's inhale through our nose and exhale through the nose. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the nose. Good. Now let's take that right hand and move that right knee a little bit over to the right side and feeling that stretch happening through the inside of that leg here. Using the left arm as a counterweight if you need, so you don't roll all the way over. Good. And let's inhale through the nose. Exhale through the nose. Another inhale through the nose. And exhale through the nose. Good. Bring that back to center. We're grabbing that heel with our left hand and rotating that knee. Again, if you'd like, you can take that leg up just to support for our figure of 4 pigeon here. And finding a little bit of motion. If you like, you can take it and rock it in your hand, just rocking it like a gentle baby, adding some motion through that hip joint. Great. And then if you'd like to add a little extra, you can always reach through and grab that thigh with your hands and pull it a little bit closer to yourself. Or again, if you want to use that kitchen towel or a strap, just to use a hand extender to pull that thigh closer to you. Great work. Placing the sole of the foot down on the ground. We're now taking this sole of the foot and moving it away from us over to that left side, down to the ground and thinking about sending that knee away from us as well. So you're just bringing some motion through the inside of this thigh here. If you want to tee out the arms again, just breathing through the nose, inhaling and exhaling. Inhaling and exhaling. Good. Inhale those legs back to center. Place both heels down on the ground. And let's do just a little bit of a bridge where we're lifting up our gluteus muscles off the ground, engaging these muscles back here. Just see, are they working? Can you feel them working? And then placing it back down. We're going to do that 2 more times, just strengthening these muscles. Let's inhale those hips off the ground. Feel the muscles working. Are you using your core muscles here? Are you using the gluteus muscles here? And lowering down. And last one. We're inhaling up off the ground. Use those muscles. Feel the muscles work and engage. And lowering down. Great work. All right, now we're going to hug those knees to our chest again. Roll out that low back. Finding a little bit of length and strength through those hip muscles today. You've done so wonderfully. We've gotten to the relaxation part. So let's send our legs out long, so long away from us. Let's send our arms out long over our heads and feel as though somebody's pulling your toes away from you and pulling your fingers in the opposite direction. Exhaling, arms down. Let's inhale, arms up. Over our head. Exhale those hands down. Inhale, arms up over the head. Exhale those hands down. Last one, inhale, arms up overhead. One last long stretch. And exhale down. Just letting your legs relax here. Letting your hips relax. Letting your shoulders relax. Letting the arms relax. Now I know this wasn't very long, but sometimes it's a bit of a challenge when you're first starting out. So we're keeping these in just short bite-sized pieces so you can introduce some wellness stretching into your routine. If you'd like to press pause here and take a prolonged meditation time of gratitude, you can feel free to just press pause. If you're ready to just keep moving on with your day or fall to sleep, you can do that as well. So as we end our practice, finding that gratitude in our hearts for this time that you've prioritized. Thank you so much for joining me today on Mindful Joy and Wellness for our wellness stretching. I hope you have a wonderful day.